Hello everyone! Do you remember what you felt when you first saw Godzilla on the screen? You probably thought at the time that this ferocious, car-crushing, building-smashing monster was unrivaled among fictional characters. Or maybe you still think so. Then it's time to find out how strong Godzilla really is. Today we want to show you some opponents that might exceed Godzilla's abilities and a couple of failed fights from his biography. We promise that after this video, Godzilla won't seem so scary to you. Let's get it on! King Kong. Of course, the first character on Godzilla's list of opponents is another legendary giant beast. These guys have a long history of face-offs, and this year we may see their final battle. Warner Brothers is releasing the movie Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's try to guess how this battle will end, okay? In the left corner, we have a mutant armed with a tail, spikes, and powerful jaws. Godzilla has repeatedly proven his resistance to blows, as well as being much larger than his opponent. He's over 100 meters tall, while King Kong is only 30. The outcome of the battle seems obvious, right? But don't jump to conclusions. King Kong's biggest advantage is his cunning. He can strategize, he can use surrounding objects as weapons, and of course, he's extremely strong. Moreover, in the movie Kong Skull Island, they ensure that the monster has not yet finished growing. Can you imagine what he could look like in 2021? But we won't talk about the 1962 battle. Times have changed, the adversaries are more powerful and experienced now, and the world awaits the outcome of this new battle. Kraken. Is Godzilla looming in the distance, smashing cars and destroying entire buildings? One phrase could solve the problem. Release the Kraken! Seriously, this mythical monster could easily defeat Godzilla. Take, for example, the Kraken from Clash of the Titans. Hades gave him enough power to take on the gods of Olympus, and Zeus himself decided to hide this terrible monster as far away as possible. Does he really have trouble defeating this mutant? Moreover, the huge mouth of the giant mollusk is full of sharp fangs. The Kraken's main weapon are his huge tentacles. They give him a great advantage both in water and on land. Remember how it drags large ships underwater in an instant and destroys the streets of Argos with a single blow? Ultimately, the only hope for Godzilla could be Gorgon's head, but it's unlikely that he could find it. Hulk. The following hypothetical battle is very thrilling. Even the Hulk, enraged to the max, is significantly inferior in size to the Japanese mutant. In the Marvel movies, we have seen the superhero's capability and power of destruction. However, it's Marvel's fault that the movie version of Hulk would probably lose in a battle against Godzilla. The fact is that Godzilla gets bigger and more aggressive with each new story. Meanwhile, Hulk has been turned into a less imposing character so that he doesn't overshadow other characters. Even his ability to get stronger by getting angry was only used once in the cinematic universe. How's he supposed to fight then? But let's go back to the original comics. In this case, Godzilla doesn't stand a chance. In World War Hulk, the superhero is able to transform into a real impregnable mountain. His blows in this form can destroy a planet, and the shockwave from it reached even the most distant satellites. In addition, he can generate gamma rays and create extremely powerful waves that destroy everything around him, even Godzilla, who feeds on radiation. Galactus. Godzilla is capable of causing terror on Earth, but in space he probably doesn't stand a chance of winning. Remember what Silver Surfer said? Galactus is coming. I have heard the lamentations of worlds, yet if there are 3 more horrifying worlds in any corner of the cosmos, I've not heard them. In case you don't remember, this is one of the most terrifying creatures in space. He's capable of absorbing entire civilizations, channeling inexhaustible energy through himself, and creating almost any effect he desires. So if Galactus were to encounter Godzilla, he could even choose how to deal with the pesky lizard. The Devourer of Worlds could shrink him down to the size of a microbe, use matter transmutation and turn him into stone, or simply teleport him to the far end of the universe. Pacific Rim monsters. Okay, so one kaiju against another kaiju, does that mean the odds are even? We're not sure. Remember how Godzilla was defeated in the 1998 movie? The monster got tangled in metal wires and the military fighters easily destroyed him with the discharge of rockets. With the Pacific Rim characters, this trick won't work. They were specially created as combat animals. Even Leatherback, a Category 4 kaiju with incredible physical strength, would be a serious opponent for Godzilla, not to mention Slattern, who survived a nuclear explosion, standing 181 meters tall, weighing 6,750 tons, and with 3 pointed tails, it will leave no trace of Godzilla, but Godzilla could be a serious problem for the Jaegers. By the way, Hollywood is seriously thinking of making this crossover. Anti-Monitor. We've already pitted Godzilla against one of Marvel's top villains, and in fairness, we should mention an equally powerful creature from the DC Comics universe. Anti-Monitor outclasses Godzilla in every detail, even leaving aside the fact that he almost destroyed the positive matter of the multiverse. He has other impressive abilities. The villain can grow hundreds of meters, but even without increasing his size, he held Supergirl in his hand as if she were a doll. He's capable of generating waves that destroy matter at a basic level. It's unlikely that Godzilla could even scratch him. Anti-Monitor fought many of the strongest heroes from hundreds of universes at once without taking any damage. In any case, Godzilla would get tired first. The Lord of Antimatter fought his brother for 1,000,000 years in a row. Cthulhu. Both our characters consider the Pacific Ocean to be their home, and perhaps sooner or later they will have to fight for it. If Cthulhu's awakened from his slumber, he could surely defeat his rival with ease. After all, it is believed that the awakening of the giant sea monster would lead to the destruction of human civilization. Moreover, let us recall Gustav Johansson's diary description. He says that Cthulhu is composed of a strange slime and that it regenerates easily, literally before your eyes. How can anyone inflict damage on such a creature? In his diary, Johansson, while not naming the exact height of the monster, compared it to a walking mountain. So in size, Cthulhu and Godzilla are more or less the same. Moreover, Cthulhu's main weapon is that it can affect the human mind. He would definitely use humans as a shield in combat, so the victory goes to him. Fang Foom. This Marvel Universe character is practically a relative of Godzilla. He's an alien dragon, a kaiju, and even looks like Godzilla. But as we know, even brothers can fight. In this case, Fang Foom would be the older brother. First, he's able to split his body into separate forms, spit fire, and acid mist. In addition, the dragon is famous for his intellect. He possesses telepathy and is known as an ingenious inventor and strategist. Finally, according to the comics, Fang Foom is much larger than Godzilla and can fly at supersonic speed. However, he may not be willing to fight. In one comic, the monster gave up his powers and became a chef in a Chinese restaurant. Mothra. We've already met the characters who could hypothetically win in a battle against Godzilla, but what about actual battles? Are there any defeats in Godzilla's past record? More than one, in fact. We'll talk about them now. One of the earliest took place in 1964, when the lizard was defeated by a giant moth. This is Mothra, who's also a kaiju, but unlike other monsters, it fights to protect humanity. In the movie Mothra vs. Godzilla, the moth was killed by Godzilla, but was able to protect its egg, and the larva that hatched avenged their mother. The story doesn't end there. In the series about the confrontation between Godzilla and Mothra, the 120-meter-long moth and its twin, called Batra, also defeated Godzilla. All in all, we've got someone to rely on. Destoroyah. Another one of Godzilla's kaiju enemies, the crustacean monster Destoroyah, has only appeared in one movie and a few episodes of the series. It was apparently removed from the franchise because of its excessive strength. Judge for yourself. In the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, this creature arrives at the airport, knocks Godzilla down and carries off his son, then drops the poor creature onto the nearest building and kills him with its micro-oxygen ray. Who else could do something like that? What's more, furious beyond belief, Godzilla attacked Destoroyah, but the latter easily defended himself. In the end, to drive his enemy back, Godzilla had to heat himself to a critical temperature and almost died trying. In the end, Destoroyah was defeated, but only with the help of the army, and this tells us a lot about his strength. SpaceGodzilla. Godzilla's misadventures don't end there. He has many more enemies than you thought. Among them was even his copy, SpaceGodzilla. Seriously. According to legend, after a battle, the mutant's cells fell into a black hole, crystallized, and caused the appearance of a twin monster. It's difficult to find a more evil character. He descended to Earth only to conquer it and destroy the original Godzilla. And he almost succeeded. He easily overthrew the lizard and even took his son, Godzilla Jr., hostage and locked him in a glass prison. As Godzilla couldn't defeat SpaceGodzilla on his own, he had to be helped by the military robot kaiju Mothra. It turns out that he's not that formidable after all. Hedorah. You'd be surprised, but even this weird pile of garbage beat the hell out of Godzilla. However, it's Godzilla's fault. Once upon a time, the alien Hedorah began eating pollution on Earth and soon took the form of a giant monster. Godzilla didn't like the competition and attacked it. Hedorah should have been defeated, but Godzilla allowed the alien to evolve. Eventually, it learned to fly and took its final form, a humanoid-shaped pile of sludge. It sounds ridiculous, but thanks to its ability to spit acid and shoot lightning, the pile left Godzilla without an eye, burned his right hand, and nearly killed him. If it weren't for the help of humans, Godzilla would not have been able to appear in the most recent movies. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action. Only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.